Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah. The Philadelphia Eagles staying alive for at least one more week. Jake Elliott does it to the Giants again. Go-ahead field goal. Eagles win it 25-22. They come back, rally back from a giant hole. 19-3. They were losing this game. They fight, they scratch, they claw, and they win it. Philly 500 is here. I am Adrian Fedke. They're staying alive.
They're staying alive. And I'm out of breath. I'm out of shape. Holy crap.
Are you out of eggnog too?
No, I'm out of eggnog. I got home and the eggnog, even though it wasn't expired on the bottle, it smelled like weird. And I'm not ever messing with weird eggnog. So I've sent my wife to the store. 4:00 today. It will be eggnog time, but I'm celebrating this win. I will take it. You
want me to talk as you catch your breath?
No, I'm good now. I do it all. My whole stream, I'm out of breath. So I'll work it out. I took a couple aspirin. I'm good.
I'll tell you what. Strokes. Doug Pederson. I don't know if you watched my videos or not, but he listened to me. He must have listened to me. Because Josh Adams, he finally got the rock.
It only took till the fourth quarter, though.
Yeah. It took Doug Pederson 12 weeks, 2.5 quarters into the 12th week to figure out that Josh Adams can run the ball. 9 carries for 60 yards and 2 drives where they get 15 points. 15 points because Josh Adams went for the 2-point conversion. 22 carries for 84 yards and also under 4 yards a carry, but it was up to it was 4.5 to 5 for most of the game until the fourth quarter there when they were just kind of running out the clock. So big game from Josh Adams and this offensive line and run blocking. I mean, I've been asking for it all season long. Maybe, just maybe, Doug Pederson will continue this moving forward. And hell, you have some winnable games against the Redskins and the Cowboys coming up. You can definitely turn this thing around.
Yeah. During my stream, shout out to Legend Killer. He said it perfectly. When Adams ran in for the touchdown, he said, "Oh, my God, Mike Groh has discovered fire." Because it's it took him that long to figure it out. I say this during my streams. When you're so imbalanced and you're so predictable in offense, I don't care who you are. You're not going to be able to move the ball consistently in the NFL. And you have to have balance. And that was nice to see. I mean, the Giants were not playing that run that whole drive. No. They weren't even worried about it. And the Eagles kept doing it. And that's what you have to do. And then it's amazing. If they do that, how much everything else will open up to them.
Yeah, I'll have to look at the play-by-play and actually break it down, but I'm curious to see how many times they actually ran the ball in the second half as opposed to the first half. So in all, they ran the ball more than they threw it today. Carson Wentz kept it twice, so 29 carries for 127 yards, 4.4 yards per carry. 20 of 28 was Carson, 236 yards, had a touchdown. Quarterback rating still over 100. So I also didn't think this was his best game, but they ran the ball today, and he did enough. Nelson Aguilar wide open on the 4th and 1. Alshon Jeffrey had a key reception on that final drive, and finally, I guess you can put one in the W column for Wentz in the fourth quarter drive. I mean, whatever that for those people.
Yeah, oh yeah, game-winning drive. Not that me or you are ever worried about Carson being able to be clutch or handle those kind of situations, but there are people that worry about it. So they're going to have to take a look and say, hey, he got one today. And I still say he had one with the Titans. It wasn't his fault at the end. But, this is an NFC East battle. I mean, it happens. And I didn't I think some of the things early in the game, they had a big run, 60-something yard run, called back on a Kelsey hold. for a touchdown. Second drive, they're moving down the ball, and they called a horrible offensive pass interference on Alshon Jeffrey. Like, those are the things that kill you early in the game to get momentum going. And the Eagles, most importantly, what I like is they fell down early, and they showed heart, and they fought till the end, and they fought back. They didn't do that against the Saints last week, and I thought they did it today.
I mean, it literally looked like they dressed up for their own funeral again. So Dallas was like, I guess that was the viewing. And then today was like going to be the actual burial. And they were ready to close the casket. I'm telling you, they were ready. And then you know what happened? Carson Wentz wouldn't allow it to happen. Malcolm Jenkins wouldn't allow it to happen. Michael Bennett wouldn't allow it to happen. Fletcher Cox, deep penetration, wouldn't allow it to happen. Zach Ertz didn't allow it to happen. The offensive line didn't allow it to happen. Josh Adams didn't allow that casket to be closed.
Golden Tate did.
They fought back resiliently.
Golden Tate almost allowed it to happen.
I know it's only the Giants, but at least they showed some heart, because that 19-3 start, man, I mean, half the city was ready to jump off the bridge.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, look, and sometimes in order to get just the ball rolling, just to get a little bit of momentum, you need an ugly win like this. You need to scrap something to win a close game at the end like this. You just want that wheel to start going in the right direction. Hopefully it keeps going and going. Like you said, next week we play the Redskins at home on Monday Night Football. Why can't we win that game? We can win that game. And think about this. Dallas is playing the Saints. If we win and they lose, we're at the same record. It's not – we're still in the thick of this. We are still in the thick of it.
I mean, we have to remember that Dallas still sucks. They stink. I mean, there's no reason why the Eagles shouldn't be able to beat the battered and bruised Colt McCoy-led Redskins on Monday night. No reason why they shouldn't win that game. No. And then to go down to Big D again, I don't care what people say. The Cowboys still aren't good. I'm still not convinced. The Eagles can go down to Big D and even win that game. Even as bad as I still think this Eagles team is, I think they should win that game. So all of a sudden, you're right back in it in the NFC East.
Yeah.
Yes, you might get clobbered against the Rams. The Texans might be a tough game. But then you get the Redskins back. And maybe you can make something out of this at the end of the day.
Well, listen, you get some players back maybe at some point. And not only that, but if you found your balance and you start using Adams like we see, then those play action fakes, they start to work. The passing game opens up. Things will open up. And maybe we're going to get a different team at the end of the year than what we've seen so far. Balance means a lot to a team. And I think, and I'm hopeful that what we saw on that drive with Josh is the start of how they're going to play offense.
Yeah. It's no more Smallwood for the running back situation, maybe, because he wasn't. Was he hurt? He wasn't even playing today.
He was not in existence, and I don't know. And I'm okay with that.
I am completely okay with that. I Smallwood, no wood, get him out of there. I want Big Josh. Okay.
Yeah.
I want him and
Big Josh Adams.
Yeah. Right. So I wanted 15 carries for him in this game, and he got 22. So he got what I was asking for. And then Corey Clement looked better today. I don't know if his injuries are finally starting to heal up, but he had like another burst today, it looked like. I don't know if you saw what I saw.
Yeah, he did.
But 5 for 45 for him. He looked a little bit better. Yeah. So it's like, okay, finally maybe they're starting to get that wheel spinning, but we'll see.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree with you totally. I just think this team, I think the last two drives of the game, if they play that kind of offense, they play balanced like that, they will be a different team going forward. I really believe that. I do. I just think so much of what they do wrong is that they're too predictable and that they're too pass heavy. And I think in this league, I don't care how bad defenses are. If they know what you're going to do and where you're going with the ball, you're going to have a problem.
The team we kind of want to keep an eye on is the Packers here. And the reason why I say this and the reason why I make this comparison, like they finally kind of started running Aaron Jones. lately, and we'll see if that kind of works out for them. And if there can be kind of like a correlation here, if Josh Adams is the guy for the Eagles and the Eagles start reeling off some wins. Because, I mean, Packers and the Vikings tonight, if the Packers can win that game, I mean, that was a game that Eagles couldn't win earlier in the season. Maybe you get Josh Adams going. Maybe you can win that game against Houston. Because, like, I'm not convinced right now that they can beat Houston. You know,
no, I mean,
I know I'm like looking way ahead. We should keep it on this game.
No, we haven't won 2 games in a row a year.
I know. I know.
We have to.
We had to squeak out a win against the Giants.
Yeah, and see, to me, the fact that it was a squeak out win, the Giants stink. Like, I don't worry about that, because the one thing I know is the NFC East, regardless if a team is great or they're bad, they're always going to play tight, close games, especially with the Giants. It's just the history of these two teams playing. So that doesn't concern me, you know. But I look at the running game and what happened. I think about maybe they come out next week against Washington, they run in the ball well, and then you're in the second quarter, and Carson lines up under center like they always have him, and he actually play actions, and the teams bite on the play action, and he can throw the ball downfield because you have balance. And that's the biggest thing that I thought we lost with Frank Reich. And today, you know, in that fourth quarter, we got it back when it mattered most.
If you did notice, they did go under center that one time on the play action, and Carson got sacked.
I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. And that actually looked scary because his knee looked like
he took a couple times. Like, I mean, there were like 2 or 3 times where he went down his like legs.
See what people don't understand is when the defense doesn't bite on the play action, it takes longer for the play to develop because you're going through the whole motion of it. And if they're not biting, you're going to turn around. You're not going to have any time. But when they have to bite and stop to check for the run, that's when you get time, and that's how it affects your passing game greatly if you use it right. The Eagles use it, and they don't run the ball. Today they did in the second. Actually, like on that set, it was second down. There was a second down on that final drive. It's like you could do a play action right now. Giants would bite on it, and you could roll out and probably get a first down because they were effective the series before running the ball. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So we'll see if this can finally open some things up. Something else I wanted to talk about. I mean, finally the D-line steps up in the second half because this is the reason why the secondary like looked semi-good. With everything that happened, with all of the injuries, to do what they did in the second half to hold up. I mean, LeBlanc, whether or not that was a penalty there in the end zone on that 3rd and 4. But Michael Bennett was huge in this game. He had the sack. He had another one where he held Chris Long out on a sack. He's in the backfield, had a swim move to set up the tackle for loss in the running game. He's been everywhere all season long, well, except for the first like couple games. He struggled, but ever since then, he's been huge. And he and the D-line were the reason why these Giants receivers kind of couldn't get going in the second half. And for whatever reason, they didn't use Saquon Barkley either.
Well, that was the like, what the hell are you doing? The first half, I was kind of getting upset because I felt like you weren't getting any pass rush from your front four, so you need to start blitzing Manning because there was just too much time. I mean, receivers would catch a ball and there was nobody near him. But Michael Bennett in the second half started stepping up, dude. And maybe it was the interception at the end of the half that got that defense feeling a little better about themselves by Malcolm Jenkins. But I thought Michael Bennett was a monster today. And why the Giants went away from Saquon Barkley, that's their problem. Okay,
like
I ain't worried about it.
Fighting an injury. Like I don't understand.
God, Saquon Barkley's so good though.
My God, he
is going to
single-handedly was ready to close the casket on us.
I mean, he is going to give us problems for years. I mean, we're going to beat the Giants every game, but he's always going to have good games against us. You know. Because the Giants still stink.
They will stink, and they will always stink.
They stink and stinks. Both.
Stinkage. A lot of stinkage. You know what else stinks? The way that Mike Groh is still incorporating Golden Tate. So that one play, it was reminiscent of when they tried to use Nelson Aguilar against Washington the first game of the season. They did that bullshit, and it was a complete disaster.
Well, it's
and
like,
it happened again. And like this was where Carson should have just thrown this ball into the stands.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand why they think the only way to use Golden Tate is in the screen passing, the short passing game, and let him try to get extra yards. You know, especially when they run the play where he comes in motion. I think that's the one you're talking about, right? And then it's the quick screen. You see the Giant, either was a safety or linebacker. They saw the play coming from a mile away. And you're right, Carson should have pulled back on that. But they don't know how to use him. And it really bothers me. I'm still not a micro guy. I'm not. I want him at the end of the year. Because you can't get Golden Tate as effective and as good as he was for the Detroit Lions. You can't figure out how to use him. I don't understand that.
Yeah,
I don't. And they still don't stretch the field. The Eagles didn't throw one. I don't think they threw one deep ball all day, did they? I don't remember one bomb all day.
I mean, Carson's still not getting time. I mean, every time they're bringing a blitz, they can't.
But why don't they roll him out? They don't even roll him out. They rolled him out one time to his left, and he had to throw in a weird way, which was complete. But roll him out. Roll him out by time. I mean, the offense is too predictable. It's too simple. It just there's no creativity to it.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Rolling them out and like some sprints to the right, some sprints to the left, because that helps out your offensive line.
Yeah, it does. It baffles me.
Yeah. What else happened in this game? So yeah, I guess we could talk about Wentz a little bit. So 20-28, 236 yards. I thought in the first half, you know, it was like, you know, because it was frustrating that they got off to another slow start. Because I believe they didn't score, right? They didn't score in the first quarter. And it was the 9th time in 11 games that they didn't score in the first quarter. And like they got down 19-3. The Giants went right down. They went right down the field in their first 4 possessions, really.
Yeah. But I tell you what, I thought you had the first series of the game. Giants score before you even get the ball, right? So that's the first thing. So then you go down, you get a 62-yard run by Josh Adams. Touchdown, called back. That kills the drive. Then you get the ball back, and then you get that lane penalty. And every time the Giants are getting the ball after a failed possession, they're scoring. They're scoring. It wasn't all touch. It was field goals, but they were scoring. And I thought when the pressure was getting to the point where it was like, all right, what do you got? That's kind of when Carson upped his game a little bit, started moving the ball. They went down and scored at halftime and kind of got back in it. And I thought he was – I don't think it was his greatest game ever, but I thought he was, you know, I thought he was okay. And I thought he was, you know, he hung in there and he did what he had to do, and he led them to a game-winning drive. And you know, I'll take it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still kind of waiting for him to like break out of this little mini slump of his. I feel like since the bye, he hasn't really played that well.
Yeah,
his standards.
I agree with that.
Yeah. So I want to see him play better next Monday night against.
I think maybe this is the kind of game, this ugly game like this, where you're down big early to come back and to gut it out. Maybe, you know, that's the kind of game. Maybe he takes a breath, relaxes, doesn't start pressing. Maybe the whole offense does. Maybe they find their balance, and then that's when you see the big game come. It could come Monday night against Washington. I wouldn't be surprised.
It could. I mean, very well could. Because last year when that offense was humming, man, it was one touchdown after another. He was throwing 3 touchdowns every game, literally. And right now, it's obviously still far ways away from that. I mean, 25 points in today's NFL isn't even like that much.
No, it's not. But I have a question for you. What do you think about the reports that he isn't fully healthy yet? Did you see that today? Where they're saying that he's not planning on his left leg. And he's not taking off as much running because he doesn't trust the knee. And I think that's accurate because he doesn't run nearly as much. And I think it will take a year.
Well, what's his name? Had the stat. Who's calling the game today? Was it Dallas or not Dallas?
I forget.
Was it Moose today in the booth?
I don't know. I'm doing my live stream, so I can't really hear too much.
Oh, okay. So I think it was Moose in the booth, but he had a stat today. I wrote it down. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull it. So at that point, wherever it was in the game, So last year, Carson Wentz had 26 first downs while he was running, right? This year, it's only 8 so far. And you can definitely see that. It's definitely noticeable. There were so many times last year where he would, even a 3rd and like 10, he would pick it up scrambling. And we're just not seeing that this year. And for obvious reasons, he's coming off an ACL injury. Like, we don't want him to run. So there's definitely like that added dimension was definitely instrumental last year. And I don't know if we'll see it moving forward, if he'll run more, if it'll look better than this. But you know, that means that he's just going to have to get sharper as a passer.
I think, I mean, in my videos earlier before the season started, I said he's not going to run as much. I think the speed in running that's going to take a whole year before that really comes back. But I thought the idea was, well, the offensive line is good enough to protect him. He can pick you apart in a pocket. And unfortunately, the offensive line hasn't been good enough to do that. And that has been a big problem this year, I think, too, with the whole thing. Yeah.
And he's not escaping as much. That move that worked so much last year. Teams were picking that up in the offseason, studying that. And this year, it's like what's happening is he's trying to do too much sometimes.
Yeah.
That move.
Right. Well, right. And there are
times. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, you know, there's times where you can see the pockets collapsing, and Wentz a year ago would take off. He would take off right up the middle or whatever. He doesn't do it. He's standing in there, and then it's either too late. Maybe he should have got rid of the ball earlier, or they just get to him. I think that part of Wentz's game is going to take a year to come back. I think they said next year, week 1, he loses the brace. He doesn't have the brace next year. So I think that's just coming back from the injury.
I agree with that. I don't think we'll ever see him take off, though, as much as he did last year, though.
But hopefully he'll pick his spots better. You know what I mean? He'll have confidence where he's not thinking about it.
Doing it on, like, the 3rd downs.
Yeah. I mean, he just got to pick his spots better. And, you know, I think that element is going to take a year to come back. And I think that's fair to say.
Yeah. And you're definitely right about the O-line not helping him out in any way in pass protection standpoint. I mean, when your O-line is allowing more hits to your quarterback than any O-line in the league, and it's not even close, it's definitely playing a factor. So there's that too. Obviously.
I mean, there was I could show you 3 or 4 times today where you could like step up and run, and you got 15 yards, and he doesn't run, and you got to think that that's because of that knee.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, they were only 3 of 11 on 3rd down, so it's still like a struggle moving sticks on 3rd and whatever.
My feeling, and here's how I'm choosing to look at this game, and I could be wrong, but I look at the last 2 drives as the Eagles finding themselves, finding their offense, finding balance, and from that point going forward, we're going to see a different Eagles offense than we did. That's what I'm hoping. Now we got to see it. But I think that there's potential for that because I do feel like Doug finally found something, and he was acknowledging it by the way he run Josh Adams.
Yeah, he gave it to him on a consistent basis. And that's what I was asking for. I'm like, just give him the ball, see what he can do with it, because that's the balance you need. And maybe it'll open up the play action, and that's why I made that correlation with the Packers. Because
and you're exactly right. This is the offensive line that feeds on that running game. They get better and stronger the more they run the ball. And then their pass protection actually gets better. It's like they get into a rhythm and they gel. And you're so right about that. And you saw that today because the last series where they went and filled, Carson had pretty good protection. He was able to make the throws that he needed to go down the field. So I think that you're right on.
Yeah.
You're a genius, man. You're a genius.
Oh, stop it, you silly goose.
You're blushing.
I am blushing. I am a genius, I guess. I'm no Bill Walsh, though. It's a simple solution. Just give him the damn rock and see what he can do with it. It doesn't take a rocket science.
Maybe it does.
For Doug Pederson, it does. You know what? Because that was the Super Bowl hangover for him this year. Was the humility aspect.
Maybe.
It was like the Giants game last year was what propelled the Eagles moving forward, right? They got the big Jake Elliott field goal. They went on. They won. What was it? 9 in a row. I think it was right. 9.
Yeah. It was something.
9 in a row. They won. And maybe you can win these next 3 games, and then obviously the Rams game.
I mean, we talked
2 games. I should say.
Yeah. Well, we talked about it on the Bitter Dingbats earlier this week. I would say if you can win the next 3 games, you have a shot at this division, and these are the 3 games that I think are important. So yeah, I mean they have a shot. I mean I don't know how good. I don't know, but I just know that. A lot of Eagle fans were saying, why are you so happy about them beating the Giants? Who cares? The Giants stink. Yes, the Giants stink, but sometimes you need that ugly game. You just need to get things rolling again. And I think that if we can build off this, that's the question. Can the Eagles build off this win? If they beat Washington next week, there's going to be a lot of Eagle fans excited about that Dallas game. And it's going to be a huge game. It's a playoff game. That will be a playoff game.
That game is almost basically for the NFC East.
It is. And Dallas is going to get double more than yes. Because I'm going to be honest with you. In the first half, I have a bet with Sean from the Sports Fury. Shout out to Sean. If Dallas sweeps the Eagles, I got to shave my head. My kids have to shave my head on a live stream. I was seriously during that first half thinking maybe I should just ask them if I can just shave it off and get it over with before Christmas. So I have an extra couple of weeks to grow my hair back before I got to take pictures. You know what I mean? Like, it was that bad.
Well, guess what? They are not getting swept.
I'm not asking them. I'm holding out 1 more week.
Man. Because, like, they were even running the ball last week before the Saints really just broke it open. It was at that one drive before the sack on the 3rd and 3. They're running with Josh Adams, and the Saints came in. They had the best run defense in the NFL statistically, and they were able to move the ball on the ground.
Yeah,
they moved the ball on the ground today. It's like Jesus Christ, slap yourself in the fucking face, run the damn ball, and see what happens. And look what happened.
Yeah, and look in that 3rd and 3 situation where you're talking about. I was calling. All my family was going. This is a play action fake, and nobody's going to bite on this. Don't do it, Carson. Don't. And he does it, and they didn't bite. If they would have ran the ball, he would have ran for 10 yards because it was so easy. Nobody was playing the run. That's what happened with the Giants. They kept giving the Josh and Giants were not playing the run. They weren't ready for it, you know. And if you can get defenses to not know what you're going to do, it will open up the rest of your offense, and things will get easier.
Yeah, because I watched the film last week, and I was going to do a film study, and then I was just like, you know what, just too depressing. So So and it was like Thanksgiving. So, but I watched the film, and it's like the receivers aren't creating a lot of separation, and part of it, it's like the receivers, this year they haven't been good enough, but part of it too, it's like it's so predictable. They know what's coming. And you need to start running this ball to just create that extra separation for the offense to be able to be opened up. And maybe this is what's going to open it up. Because the second half, finally they were moving the ball.
Yeah. I don't care what team you are. If you're a unbalanced team in the NFL, you're going to have problems moving the ball. You look at every good team, high-powered offense, They are balanced. They are balanced and they're unpredictable. New Orleans, unpredictable. The Chiefs, we could throw a lot, but dude, they got some running backs that can run the ball. You gotta be worried about them. The Rams with Gurley. They all have guys that you have to worry about, and they keep defenses off balance. The Eagles do not, and they have not until the fourth quarter today when it mattered the most. They did, and I think that's why we had the success we did.
10 plays. 50 yards on that final drive for the Eagles there. 5:27 off the clock. That's kind of what we were asking for all season long, too. Like, can you close the team out, go on like a 5+ minute drive, and win the game? Yeah. And that's what they did. The defense stepped up in the second half. The offense got more efficient. And when they really needed that drive, they got it. Because by the time the Giants got the ball back, there was only 22 seconds left.
Yeah, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. And then I was worried, oh God, this is Giants Eagles. Something strange is going to happen here. You have to worry about that. But yeah.
I was waiting for like Rojas to hit like a 76-yard field goal or something.
I know. I was waiting for them to throw a screen to Barkley. Barkley breaks all these tackles, breaks all these people's ankles, and somehow gets to the end zone. Something like. And then after that happens, people were telling me Carson choked, even though he wasn't on the field. I expected it, but no. Look, it's a gut. To me, it was a gut check win. The way you get beat against New Orleans, then the way you fall down early. This team could have packed it in at halftime. They could have packed it, but they kept fighting. And
for a while, it looked like they kind of did pack it in.
The first half, I thought they quit.
Yeah. Guys were just going down like flies. Like Brandon Brooks went into the tent. Josh Adams went into the tent. Michael Bennett went into the tent. Anybody else? Am I missing anybody?
Yeah. No, I don't know. LeBlanc. I don't know if he went into the tent, but who cares?
They all went to the tent.
Let's stink. Come on.
Hey, yeah, that big PBU though.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. Might have, woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Exactly. Oh, it's nice to get a win, man. Like it's nice to have a smile on my face. This season has been so miserable, man.
Dude, I gotta tell you, I feel like we just won the first round of playoffs. It's been so hard, and that first half was so brutal.
Yeah, it's relief. There's a lot of relief here.
Yeah,
this season looked like it was over. That's why I used that casket analogy.
Yeah, it's like
they closed the casket on us. Somehow we rose from the dead.
I think that drive in the second quarter where Carson goes down, they scored a touchdown. I think that kind of woke the team up a little bit, and. You could give Carson credit or not for I don't care, but
that's what it was 9-3. They go down, they got the quick conversion, and then Malcolm Jenkins
gets
that interception before the half, and that wound up being huge, obviously.
And maybe that touchdown and that interception, maybe that team said, all right, we're going to keep fighting, we're going to fight, let's give all we got one half, and hopefully that starts this ball rolling. Let's get it rolling. I want to win the division. I don't need I'm not worried about top 6 picks. I want to win the division and go to playoffs. I don't know. I don't think we could beat New Orleans or the Rams. I'm realistic, but it'd be fun to have a home playoff game and maybe win it and have the excitement of being in the playoffs. I want to win. I don't want to lose. I don't like to lose. I'm sick of losing. I'm not losing. I have a franchise quarterback. I don't need the top 3 pick. I need the playoffs. That's how I feel. So we're one game out, and whether we're good or bad, I want to win, and I'm going to be rooting for this team to win every week. Yeah. And the only reason I say it is because there's a lot of people who are telling me we should just tank, and I can't do that. Not in this situation.
Yeah, I'm not going to ask for a Super Bowl at this point. There's just, I guess, 3 things I can ask for. Okay, so just somehow make the playoffs and have that home playoff game like you were talking about.
Yeah.
And Fletcher Cox, I need you to get some extra deep penetration. I'm talking deep. For this run right now until the end of the season, it needs to be brutal. Deep penetration. So that's number 2. And then the third thing, just keep running Josh Adams. So you keep running Josh Adams the ball, see what happens. Maybe that opens up your offense a little bit. It's not going to be as explosive as last season, but maybe you can score in the high 20s now. Maybe you can squeak out a couple games in the 30s. I don't know. But that's what it is, because they were scoring the low 20s. They need to take the offense from the low 20s to the high 20s.
Yeah, I agree. I think that if they use Josh Adams and they have that balance going forward, I think that they will start to score more points. I think the defense won't be on the field as much. And I think we'll see a different Eagles team. And I'm really hopeful by the way that they ran the ball those last 2 series that Doug found something. He found what he wants to do.
And I think Doug is actually going to run the ball now.
Yes.
There's not going to be a stubbornness now.
Right. Now if he comes out and has Carson throw 50 times next week, I'm going to be pissed off. I'm going to be flipping out because I don't expect that. I think he found it, and I think things will change going forward. I'm hoping.
Yeah. And then another big thing was the Giants calling that timeout on 3rd and 18. So it's a lot.
Yeah, I don't know what that was about.
Oh, well, that was a boneheaded move. So that helped us out.
That makes no sense. But hey, thank you for that.
Early Christmas present for the Eagles. So
yeah,
just season alive.
Dude, if the Giants would have just come out in the second half and pounded Saquon Barkley, we might have had a problem. We might not have won this game because the way he was running on that, he might have broke something open.
I agree.
So, but you got to take a win how you can. Like I said, it doesn't matter how you won this game. You won it, and hopefully maybe the team relaxes a little bit. Carson relaxes a little bit. They found some sort of balance, and you start to build some momentum. You build it 1 week at a time.
Yeah. All right. So is that basically your final thought there?
That's it. That's all this dingbat has to say.
Okay. All right. So that's about it here. Should we look at some comments? We'll look at some comments real quick.
Yeah, let's talk to the people.
We'll talk to the people, and then I gotta go write this recap.
You got to write the recap, and kids want me to get on the roof and put up the lights. What am I waiting for, Daddy?
It's all Daddy's fault, huh?
It is.
Okay. At least the Eagles won today because putting up those lights, if they would have lost, man.
Yeah, like I told Jason Morgan, shout out to him. He's like, I was thinking, he's like, I had to put up the lights at halftime. I almost jumped. I'm like, I think I might jump.
Yeah. Digital print house. So Timmy Jernigan, what was the lotion for Fletcher Cox and the defensive line?
The lotion. Okay. He's the lube.
He's the lube. Yeah. For easy penetration for Fletcher.
Yeah, I thought Fletcher Cox didn't like it. I thought he liked raw dog. But he wants to inflict pain inch by inch.
Merciless punishment for
right.
Fletcher Cox.
Deep penetration.
I gotta get it. Hold on.
That can't be lubed up. That has to be.
Fletcher,
that has to hurt.
Yeah, nothing at all. Just no liquid needed. Just straight.
No.
Yeah. Fletcher Cox and some deep penetration.
I love it.
Yeah. There we go. Thank you for the comment, Digital Print House. That was a good one. Still Fire Micro, though. I completely agree. Eshan. Krish Najiri. I hope I got that name right. Let's see. Somebody's asking if we believe lost Frank Reich is a major factor. I mean, he's definitely a factor.
I think it's one of the main factors of our struggles.
Ricky Joe is asking thoughts about the schedule for the rest of the year. I think it's going to come down to that Houston game. I think because I do think like the Eagles should be able to win these games. I don't care like what people say and like how they haven't been able to put the wins together. These aren't good teams, but it's that Houston team at home in Week 16. That's going to be the one that I don't know if they can win.
Well, here's my thought on the Houston game because Houston's a good team. My hope is that the Eagles go on a roll, they get hot, they get going, and the team we're seeing this year so far is not the team playing Houston. And it's December and it's cold, and then the Eagles all of a sudden are a tough team to play, tough place to play. And if that happens, if we can go on a roll, then I think we can win. But if we continue to do what we do, we're going to get killed.
Here's what I'll say to that. All right, so if they win these games against these NFC East teams, and if Josh Adams is running the ball, and if they look good, and then if they win these games, and if they go into Los Angeles and they make it competitive, it doesn't.
A lot of ifs.
Yeah. It needs to be competitive. It can't be like the Saints game. It needs to be competitive, where they maybe lose by a touchdown or something. And then maybe I have the confidence to think, all right, maybe they can beat this Houston team because it's the secondary which has been struggling all season long. You got to cover DeAndre Hopkins and Demarius Thomas, and the D line has been inconsistent. Maybe they're about to pick it up, so we'll see about that. And then obviously the other thing is their pass rush. J.J. Watt, Davian Clowney, everything that they have to throw at you, and this O line hasn't been pass protecting all season, so. That's what I need to see from the Eagles. They need to put confidence in me that they can win this game.
Yeah, yeah. I think
that's the game that can propel them to go to 9-7, maybe.
Yeah, no, I think that's very fair, to be honest with you. I mean, look, I'm happy about this game, and I'm hoping that they turn the corner, but they have to go out and prove it still. And like we talked about last week, you got to win the next 3 games. You have to win 3 in a row. I still believe that. That's 1 of 3. Now you got to win and beat the Redskins. That's my main focus.
Yeah, and it's the Redskins with the backup
with a backup quarterback, and then you got Dallas playing the Saints, and you don't know. I think the Saints are going to beat them. So that sets up a humongous Dallas game.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Bonzology. We suck. We barely got by the 3-8 Giants. Sorry, but I'm over this year. I know they just like barely won. It was 25-22. And like here's the thing. It's like the Redskins are not good. The Cowboys are not good. Maybe we're not the best. And we're not. We're an average team right now. But the NFC East is a pile of shit. And the Eagles, at the end of the day, might be able to rise to the top of that shit and win it. And maybe they lose in the playoffs. But I'd like to see them play a playoff game because I think Wentz needs the experience. I think it would be big for him. And even if they lose that first game, whatever at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, I want to play as many games that matter every week, And yeah, I know it's the Giants, but man, you're always going to have tough games versus your rivals. And I just think that from a mental standpoint, for an emotional standpoint for this team, they needed a ugly win like this just to hopefully get things going. But it doesn't guarantee anything going forward. It doesn't guarantee anything. It's just there's just still hope. That's all.
Christopher Biro says Eagles are not good in big capital letters. You know what? They haven't been good. And it depends on what your definition of good is. They haven't been. I don't think they're trash, but they haven't been good, and I would agree with that.
Yeah, I agree.
They haven't been to prove that they can be good enough to win the NFC.
Yeah, they haven't been good, but look, we've seen teams be bad before, struggle. You would never, ever, ever think they have a chance, and all of a sudden they go and they win a Super Bowl. They go deep in the playoffs. I mean, you could look back to the Eagles when they get destroyed by the Baltimore Ravens. They benched Donovan McNabb. Everybody, including myself, thought it was over. They go in, they beat Arizona the following week. They start to get momentum. They go in the playoffs. They beat Minnesota in a wild card. Then they go beat the Giants, a great defending Super Bowl team in New York, and they go to the NFC Championship game. A lot could happen. Anything can happen. I believe that a lot of the Eagles' problems, especially in offense, are self-inflicted. And I think you can fix self-infliction. I think to a certain extent, there's things that you can do that can change the way that this team looks. And I mean, that's my hope as an optimist, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, he responded back, we barely beat the 3-8 Giants.
So but they're the Giants. That's the thing. They're the Giants.
And it's what it was out of this game was running the ball. That's what it was more than anything. And, they fought back. I mean, the first half was atrocious. It really was. But it was the way the second half unfolded, and they actually ran the ball. And that's what I'm hoping. The hope moving forward is like, we barely beat the 3-8 Giants this week. And maybe they barely beat the Colt McCoy-led Redskins next week. And maybe they barely beat the stinking Cowboys. But at the end of the day, that might be good enough to win this division.
Well, what should we do? Well, here's my question. What do I do? Are they saying, hey, you barely beat the Giants. Let me be depressed all day long. I'm going to be sad. I'm going to sit there and be like, we stink. We barely beat the Giants. How depressing. What am I supposed to do? I don't understand it. Am I supposed to say, oh, crap, we won. That sucks. I hate that we won. I hate that we're only one game out of first place. I don't understand it. Look, I'm not saying they're the best team in the world, but your team won. Am I not supposed to root for them to win? I don't understand. It's not a Sixers situation, okay? It's not a Sixers situation where you need franchise players. You don't need a franchise quarterback, one or two. There is none anyways coming out. Why would I want to tank? It doesn't make any sense to me. We're the Super Bowl champions. You don't tank.
Yeah, I'm with you.
As long as you're breathing, as long as your team has a chance, dude, I'm pulling for my team. If this was a situation we had no quarterback, I would say tank, get the quarterback coming out, some big quarterback. That's not what's happening here. I don't see it that way. I just see it as your team won. Why would I be sad? I don't care how much they beat the Giants. The Giants are division rivals. You always play the Giants in tough games.
LT asks, who is this team? Are we a running team, passing team? We can't be a defensive team. What are we? Do we have an identity? They've been trying to figure out what their identity is.
They have had none all year. I hope that after what we just saw, the last two series of the game, I hope they found it. That's what I'm hopeful about. That gives me more hope than anything.
That was the thing coming out of this game. It was those two drives with Josh Adams where he had 9 carries for 60 yards. They took over the game with the offensive line and running the ball. That was like the first time this year that they look like last year's Eagles offensively.
Dude, have they run 3 consecutive times all year before that drive?
I'll have to look and research that, but
because they ran like 4 or 5 consecutive times, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful.
I think coming into the game, they've been only running the ball like 38% of the time, which is, I think it was in the low 20s. I don't remember what the rank was off the top of my head, but that was like the research for my preview. And obviously they ran it more than they threw it today. So
that creates the predictability. That creates predictability when you only run 38% of the time.
Yeah. Mark G says Josh Adams means we don't have to sign Le'Veon Bell in the offseason. This man is a beast and he's patient as a runner. I'll say this though. I like Josh Adams, but at the end of the day, I don't know if he's your main guy. And I would still go after Le'Veon Bell because
Josh Adams is cheap.
Yeah.
He doesn't cost you anything.
Yeah.
If I have opportunity to add Le'Veon Bell, I'm adding him. I think that he should be one of the Eagles' priorities in the offseason.
Le'Veon Bell changes your whole offense. Like if we're looking at where the NFL is going and like the big catalyst for the main reason for like this offensive surge for a lot of these teams, like the Rams and see the Chiefs, and specifically, Kareem Hunt's a big time back. You have a big time back in Todd Gurley. Le'Veon Bell is a big time back in Pittsburgh. And these offenses are just humming up and down the field. It's where the NFL is going. I think Le'Veon Bell will be huge for this team.
Yeah, he'd be 27 next year, so you could get him probably for a good 3-4 years.
Yeah. So I like Josh Adams. I don't view him as a bell cow number 1, but he might be good enough like for this team for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I think he's good enough for the rest of the year, and I think if you can add a premium guy like Bell, you have to. I mean, even if you don't add a Bell, I'm still looking at one of those 2nd-round picks as a place where you have to take another running back anyways.
I mean, you could skip on Bell and take a running back too, like whatever you want to do.
Yeah,
but if you take a running back in the 2nd round, you better make sure he's good.
Either way, you need to add to that running back because we're not sure that Josh Adams is a franchise running back going forward.
Yeah, but hey, I mean, maybe in the next, I don't know, 5. How many games are left? 5 games, 6 games, 6 games, 5 games. 5 games are left. So these next 5 games, this is your Josh Adams showcase. See what he can do.
Maybe he changes. Maybe he proves he can. Maybe he changes our opinion. But we have to see.
Maybe he starts going nuts and starts running for 150 yards every game, and maybe he's your franchise guy.
Yeah. I'm open. I'm open to it.
I mean, we're gonna get a lot of Josh Adams moving forward. I would hope so, and
I'm hoping
that's what this Eagles team needs right now. All right. Let's see. All right. I think that might be about it. I guess super speed's going. Eagles need all defensive backs in the draft. They're going to lose Darby probably, right? So he'll be gone. You're gonna have Douglas. You're gonna have Mills. Now, I mean, you might draft a corner, but like there are other areas of need that you have to attack. Like Eagles need a safety. They need a safety. They need a tackle that they can develop, and they even have Jordan Mailata, but they need a guard. They need there's other areas like they could use a linebacker.
Look, they need a lot. They're going to have to address some of those things.
Younger in a lot of positions.
They do, and you know, and for me, I mean, to me, it's too hard to know because I got to see which players are going to be there when we're picking and those kind of things to say, oh, I want this safety or that. But for me, like just looking at position wise, my focus is going to be first and foremost on my offense. I want to get my offensive line fixed. I want skill position. I want an outside speed threat. And I want a running back because we talked about it. I just believe the league is an offensive league. You got to be able to score points more than anything, and that's where my focus is going to be. Yeah. But he's right. He's right. We do need secondary help. There's no doubt. They just have to figure out how they want to go about addressing it.
All right. So one more comment here from Paul Toy. Tell King Dingbat to read the Bible with his family and pray, drink eggnog, and fire up a good cigar. You know, it's funny about the reading the Bible. That makes me think of the Golden Tate situation. It's like during the week, you got Mike Rowe talking about how it's tough to integrate Golden Tate in the offense, while these other teams, Mari Cooper's not having a problem in Dallas, no problem for Houston with Demaryius Thomas, but for whatever reason in Philadelphia, it's like deciphering Bible code.
Right.
Eagles offense with goal.
Right. Yeah. Well, tell Paul Toy, 2 thumbs up. I'm on it, buddy. I'm on it. But yeah, Golden Tate. Mike Rowe needs a conversion experience to get Golden Tate implemented in his offense because it amazes me that he has no idea how to do it, and he still struggled with it today. I just couldn't believe it.
Yeah. All right. So, well, you gave your final thought already. I don't really have one. I guess just I hope you guys had a happy Thanksgiving. You know, mine was awesome. I love turkey and I love stuffing. So you mix those two together with some beer. It's a good day for me. It sucked that the Cowboys won, but it helped us at the end of the day. So that's a good thing. And the Eagles could be playing for first place in the NFC East by next Sunday. That is just crazy to say.
It's really amazing. Really is.
God. Well, the Saints will probably triple, quadruple moonwalk the Cowboys on Thursday.
Oh yeah.
And yeah. That's not going to be
That's fine. Just I can't wait. I'm going to be watching that game very happy.
Maybe we should live stream.
Like a dual live stream? That would be fun. That would be real fun. I don't know.
Like that'll be our bitter dingbats.
We should try it. We should try to think of how we can do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even if it's like right here, what me watching my screen, you watching your screen.
Yeah.
If we can sync it up somehow.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Well, we could do it on the Hangouts.
Yeah, and sync it up. Why not? Let's do it. Yeah, I think we should try it. That would be fun.
Yeah. Okay. Do the people want it? Do the people want a Dallas live stream for this Saints game? Do the people want it? They want a dual live stream. They want it. Taco wants it. David Campbell wants it. They want to see Dallas buried. Bonzology is asking for it.
Oh, we got to do it, man. We got to give the people what they want.
Yes. All right. So you'll drink your eggnog. I'll probably have myself a beverage or two.
I'll be drinking a lot of eggnog.
We'll do this.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, we're gonna have some fun on Thursday night.
Yeah, sounds awesome.
Yeah, I don't think I'm doing anything. I think I'm free on Thursday. Let's do it.
Yeah, I think so too. I should be good to go.
All right. So a bitter dingbats live stream coming up on Thursday night for this Cowboys game.
And if they win, I'm going to be so pissed off.
Oh my God! If the Cowboys somehow win this game, Jesus Christ!
Yeah, we have to have the title like Saints destroying Cowboys live stream. You know?
and then of course, yeah, the Cowboys are somehow just going to win this game.
Yeah, I would love it.
I wouldn't love it if the Cowboys won this game.
No, I wouldn't love that. But I would love to have a title where it's going to troll Cowboy fans before the game even starts.
I mean, we got to keep that head of yours clean. No shade.
Yeah. I'm in danger. I really, man, I was really close to just doing it and getting it over with.
Well, we're gonna sucker through this thing, and we're gonna
fight through it. We're gonna fight through this, and we're gonna get on a little run here. And I feel like we have a chance. I feel like this was one of those games where we can at least build on. I mean, I'll say that. I feel like the last two drives we can build on. So I'm excited to see Monday night.
And then they got
Sunday night or Monday night.
Then they got to prove it next week. Win 2 in a row for the first time all season. You haven't done it all season long.
Yeah. And it's a Monday night game, or is it a Sunday night game versus the Redskins?
Monday night, I think.
Well, that's even better, man. The Eagles were embarrassed last time on national TV. I hope that they're looking to show people what they are. You know what I mean?
A little different. Things have changed.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. That's it. That's Philly 500. I'm Adrian Fedq. We're out of here. Take care.
Peace.
Yeah. Hit the thumbs up button. I always forget, damn it. God. I always do. See you guys.